And developmental disorders are a spectrum, many different conditions that come from changes at the genetic level at the DNA or disruptions in normal development. DNA is the fundamental unit of life in our cells. It carries the genetic instructions that are used in our growth, development, functioning, and reproduction. And our DNA sequences have to be correctly copied so that each cell can function properly. This is called DNA replication. Mistakes in this process can lead to genetic mutations, which can result in genetic disorders. Chromosomes are long structures that are made up of DNA that's packaged tightly together. Humans have 46 chromosomes in each cell that's divided in 23 pairs. These chromosomes have all of our genes and determine everything from our hair color to our susceptibility to certain diseases. Changes in the number or structure of chromosomes can lead to disorders. Now, genes are pieces of DNA that are located on chromosomes. They're made up of specific sequences of bases, DNA bases, that make up instructions on how to make proteins. Proteins perform all of our life functions and make up cell structures, so proteins are very important. When genes are altered or mutated, when DNA is, the protein they encode may become dysfunctional, which may lead to genetic disorders. Genetic disorders are diseases that are caused by changes in DNA sequences. Genetic disorders can be inherited from one parent or both parents, and they can also be the result of a new mutation. These disorders can range from minor to severe. Examples are cystic fibrosis, sickle cell anemia, Down syndrome, and many others. To briefly discuss each one, sickle cell anemia is a classical example of a single gene mutation where a change in the hemoglobin gene causes our red blood cells to deform, looking sickled instead of nice and round. This leads to severe anemia and pain. Down syndrome comes from an extra trisomy, chromosome 21, meaning there's an extra copy of this chromosome, extra DNA. This extra genetic material changes the normal developmental process that leads to characteristic physical features, cognitive impairment, and a predisposition to certain medical conditions. Cystic fibrosis is a mutation in the CFTR gene that affects chloride channels in cells, which leads to the production of a lot of thick, sticky mucus, which can obstruct airways, causing respiratory and digestive problems. Hemophilia is a bleeding disorder where blood doesn't clot properly, and this is because of mutations in certain clotting factor genes. Now, on the other hand, developmental disorders are related to abnormal growth and development. There's many examples like autism spectrum disorder, Turner syndrome, and many others.